Yeah. What is happening? Okay. Okay. I think we're good on at least one platform, and that one platform is good enough for me.
Are you sure?
Yeah, just go. I kind of ruined your intro, but like, just do it anyways. One platform.
Okay, we'll pick it up like you never said anything.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Hi, welcome to
Fix It in
Bias
Post.
Bros, where we say live from my bedroom. It's Thursday night.
And we'll fix it in post. We'll fix that in
we'll
post.
fix it in post.
We'll fix it in post. We'll fix how we
Live.
look in post. This
Yeah.
whole thing is actually going to be hosted by Ben Affleck.
It is, yes.
And
he hasn't quite agreed to it yet, but we'll fix that in post.
No, and Charo. Yeah, we're just going to put both.
Charo's
of them.
definitely coming back to this.
This is a Ben Affleck Charo podcast.
Yeah.
Which is a thing that people are familiar with these days.
We are actually Ben Affleck and Charo, respectively.
Once
but
we
we're
fix it in post.
By the time you see this, we would have fixed it in post.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's movie magic.
Yeah. Yeah, celebrities aren't actually in movies anymore. They just put all that in post.
Yeah, it's all deep fakes and whatnot.
Nobody in Hollywood has worked in years, except for the guy who does everything in post. That dude does everything.
The sad part is that after last year, nobody in Hollywood has worked in a year.
That's fair. And
this is how they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's two bald white dudes who barely have opinions that matter.
No. We have opinions that flat out do not matter.
Yeah. That's why they're important.
Sure.
If there's going to be people in the world with opinions that do matter, we need people in the world with opinions that don't matter to balance them out.
Exactly. There is no day without the light, or there is no day without the night.
Right.
Kind of a thing. And we are the night in that metaphor.
Yeah.
We are the night.
Yeah. Batman is actually Ghost Rider, who is actually Daredevil, who is actually Batman. We're there. We're good.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad that you got a kick out of that, by the way.
Yeah. How could I
not? That just made way too much sense. We'll have to post a link for that later on.
I keep hacking up phlegm on this cast, and I don't know why.
No, that's fine.
This has not happened all day. It's literally just as we've started to recording, I am now filled with phlegm.
Honestly, that gives us oh boy, howdy.
Yeah, I'm saying.
That gives us something to fill the time. Unfortunately, we don't have a Judd list today.
No.
We didn't get around to coming up with a topic, and we didn't feel like half-assing it at the last minute just to throw something at you.
We both decided that we were going to get really into opium. You know, we were looking into it, and by looking into it, I mean watching how they depicted it on television. And honestly, it just looked like a bunch of cool guys sleeping in beds near each other, and we were like, man, that's a drug I could get behind. So
totally.
We start doing a whole lot of opium.
Lots of opium.
Here we are, a week later. Post-opium, popium, if you will.
We're popium,
and now we don't have a Judd list.
No, that's true. That's what happens. So you heard it first right here. Ben Affleck and Charo do opium.
Yeah,
together.
Yeah. Well, not like together. They
they go to their opium parties together. Yeah. Like they're not there together, but they're there together.
Right.
Yeah. It's we don't like to assign labels.
In the same way we all have galactic oneness. When do we get Gary Busey on the show?
Next week.
Yeah, because this sounds like we should save that for when Gary Busey's on.
Right. To be continued next week when we have Gary Busey on the show. We'll be talking about opium.
Also, we will be Gary Busey, and we'll just fix it in post. I brought it around. It's a circle.
I already got the teeth.
Yeah. Now if only you could get one of your eyes to sit distinctly lower than the other one.
I'm still working on that.
Yeah, as if something was broken.
Once a week I have a friend just punch me in the head.
Yeah.
And then that eye will sit lower. It's just you got to work it into place.
That's the way to do that.
Dedication. You don't get anything in life without dedication. And if you want one eye to sit lower, you're just going to have to take a beating.
So you know what I think we can talk about? Because weirdly, while sitting here, I think I have found a throughput in the things I've been watching.
Throughput.
Yeah. You put it, but it goes through. So
it goes through.
Yeah, all the way.
Through line, if you will.
Yeah. So
a unifying theme.
Yes. Galactic oneness.
It's a galactic oneness.
When do we get Gary Busey? So
next week.
So I'm in the final season of 2 shows, and a show I'm rewatching had a notoriously bad final season. I think maybe the show you're watching, you've seen the finale of, and even though I am not a fan of that show.
I haven't. Oh. I'm rewatching Supernatural right now, and I know that they have come out with their last. They've come out with the finale already. It's done, but I haven't. I'm missing the last season or 2, so I'm rewatching it right now because you can't.
Me to tell you how it ends?
Yeah, no, don't. Please don't. No spoilers.
People were very upset.
I'm sure they would. Like, that doesn't surprise me. But it's Supernatural. Like, look, I enjoyed the hell out of the show, but there's a lot of like slumps in that show.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was fun, but it wasn't a great
also already ended.
Show for a lot of it.
The original creator, well, I believe he came back, but the creator ended it, and then they got paid a butt ton of money to unend it, and so he was like, now there's more monsters.
Yeah, like he had an idea for a 5-season run, and they did that, and they're like, well, let's just keep going. He's like, but it's done. Like, where we left off?
We did all of it.
We did all of it. What else do we have to say?
They're back with Dragon Ball Super. It's like the first thing in Dragon Ball Super is like, fine, there's gods, and he can fight those now.
Yeah.
that's what. And very quickly, I'm only on like episode 30 of my first watch through Dragon Ball Super, and they're already like, fuck it, now that he's training with gods, he just fights alternate dimension versions of people. There's a tournament of another dimension, and now here's Frieza, but his name is Chill instead, or whatever.
So does he like fight evil versions of himself, or like Spock with a mustache?
That's the big bad later on in the show. And it's a bad guy from another dimension who took over Goku's body, and now he's rolling around in Goku's body, being extra fucking evil.
As you do.
They call him Goku Black, and I was like, racist, Dragon Ball. Thank you.
Jesus Christ.
I will say, the Dragon. Now that I have finally officially finished Dragon Ball Z, I went back, I rewatched all of Dragon Ball. Don't do that. I rewatched all of Dragon Ball Z, only if you were already a fan. But I will say, the ending was really fun. It does like a jump forward, and you get to see how some shit ends up. And then Dragon Ball Super comes in, and it goes, we take place between that. And it's like... No, we did that! Though they already disastrously did a show that was not created by the original creator called Dragon Ball GT, which fans were less than enthused with.
That's what I heard.
But
now tell me about your throughput.
I'm thinking finales.
Sure.
The one that brought up to me, and jumping sort of off of your Supernatural, people being very unhappy, one of the ones I'm rewatching right now, Game of Thrones, notoriously.
Yes.
Not a well-liked final season. Let's pull up a graphic. How far did you ever make it into Game of Thrones? I know you didn't finish it.
No, I didn't. And it was my fault. Well,
how dare you?
I don't want to say fault. What happened? I made it about 2.5 seasons in, and I was enjoying the hell out of it. It was a lot of fun, but there was a point where the night guards, the night watchmen, whatever they want to call themselves, the ones that keep watch over the wall.
Yeah, the night watch.
They crossed the night watch. The night watch crossed the wall, and they're running around with all the barbarian, the redheads.
Barbarians. I actually think you left
gingers.
Off right about where I am in the show. The
wildlings
is what they're
called. The wildlings. I can never remember what they're called. But they're running around with the wildlings, and I suddenly realize I have no idea why they're there, why they left the wall in the first place, what's going on. I am completely lost. So I needed to go back. I just said I need to start over and figure out what is happening here. And then about that time, my ex and I broke up. She took the DVDs, and I haven't yet gotten back into it.
You have HBO now.
I do, yeah. So I can get back into it very readily. I just haven't done that yet.
So I'm on my second watch. I'm on my 2.5 watch. I did restart the show in preparation for one of the seasons at one point, like when it was still first airing. So I've seen up to a point twice, and now I'm doing the whole thing as like a straight run since doing that. It's a lot easier the second time, and even to the point now, I have not read the books, but I'm hitting the wiki a lot, and I really do want to read the books, but we all know me and reading, not friends. So we'll see whenever I get to that. But there's a lot that's different in the books, or literally just not got. Like, there's whole characters that are fascinating that are not in the show at all.
That's what I hear.
But rewatching the show a second time, now I'm even like, you know, me and my wife go on a few walks a day, and I'm always talking about Game of Thrones, and I'm like, so in this show, when this fucking guy goes to this place, and this dude's supposed to be there, but it's this other thing, in the book, what's actually happening? So I'm even keeping track of it in, like, 2 completely separate universes or timelines, or however you want to look at that.
Does that make you feel a little like a god?
No, I collect lore.
I'm sorry. When somebody asks you if you feel like a god, you say yes.
So, just rewatched that for the first time. Liked it more than I remembered.
Well, let's talk about that when you're done with this.
Okay.
Because now I'm curious.
I will say, doing it again, it all starts to make a lot more sense. And really, some of it is needlessly complex, but if you're a fan of any sort of sci-fi fantasy, it's pretty easy to grasp onto, and if you're not a deep lore fan of those things, most of the shit they're telling you, you can actually just let go of in your brain.
Oh, I'm sure.
You don't need a lot of it, and actually, honestly, even where you're at, why are the wildlings on this side of the wall? I will say, there's a point in the show where that doesn't even matter.
I'm sure I was
hit
just
a point. No, and like
I
would have done the
lost.
same thing. I would have done the same thing. But for anybody who's just like, man, like I like parts of the show, but there's this slog. Yep. Just ignore that and just watch the parts that you like, and you'll honestly be fine.
For sure.
What really matters at the end of the day, a bunch of motherfuckers are fighting over a chair and ignoring the zombies.
Okay.
That's really all you like.
That's kind of what the first 2 seasons were. It's like the opening scene of the entire series is
zombies.
Zombies, and then we spend 2 seasons not talking about zombies.
So go back and rewatch. Because
what have we just been talking about?
Because when I first watched it, I was like the whole time I was watching the show as it was coming out, I'm like going to Game of Thrones parties because there wasn't a plague then, and talking to people and whatever.
Yeah.
And my big complaint was, I was like, I don't care. Everyone's like, I want this person to sit on the throne. I'm like, I want them to not die from zombies. How is no one paying attention to this? Going back and rewatching it, no. There is actually, like, a group of people who are like, no, seriously, zombies.
Oh, sure.
From the beginning. And so now on this rewatch, I'm like, there's actually only 2 camps. There's not this guy for king, and this guy for king, and this guy for king. There's motherfuckers handling the problem, and motherfuckers not handling the problem.
Yeah.
And then slowly throughout the show, that starts to switch, and you go, oh shit, some of these motherfuckers understand what's happening now. It's... people really hate the last season. Am I going to say it's good?
Yeah.
No. Is it the absolute pile of horseshit people say it is? Parts? But honestly, mostly, it lands the ship. It's mostly like some characters are pretty betrayed. There's some stuff where you're like, man, that's going to have some payoff. And instead it kind of fizzles out, and that sucks.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily bad. And you always have the books to rely on, because now George R. R. Martin can go, people hated that, so guess how I'm not right.
Right, totally.
He got to test this shit.
You know what? That dude had a plan. That guy painted himself into a corner and said, I don't know how to end my series. Let's let them do it first and see what happens.
I'm saying. So, but again, so we're talking about this throughput. Endings. I'm also watching the final season of 2 shows.
Okay, which 2?
Infinity Train and Younger.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very different shows. The audience is going, why are you watching those? So Infinity Train, we've talked about a lot on
You told me about that one. Yeah, that sounds really fun.
The 5D podcast. Super fun. So they're doing the final season. Apparently a lot of people the whole thing's out. HBO dropped it all at once. Me and my wife are watching it slowly because we don't just want to burn through it.
Right.
It's not my favorite season. That's kind of what I'm hearing from a lot of people, is they're really sad that this is the note it's going out on, is this. It's a prequel, which is kind of interesting. Here's what I will say, though. This is pulled as Supernatural. We're already in overtime. He planned to do 1 season, and it's on season 4.
Yeah.
It's not what he was trying to do.
My question is this, because this is a big thing for what a series finale, not just the last episode, but
I'm
at
glad
least
you're. This is
definitely
what
the
I want
last
to talk
season.
about. Finales.
Yeah,
Hit me with finales.
they need to fill in gaps and answer questions. If you raised something up earlier on in the series and you never explained it or never gave it its payoff, you better do that by the last season. And I think that was a huge problem that I had. I didn't realize I had it until somebody put this into perspective, but it was a big problem I had with Heroes.
I think I told you
Because
about this.
maybe the first season, the hero jumps into the future after the apocalypse, and he sees that fight about to happen between Peter Petrelli and Sylar.
Yeah.
And you just kind of get to see them power up. Basically, they power up their metaphoric lightsabers, and then a door closes and you don't get to see what happens. So like the rest of the series was gearing up towards like that future, and they just never got to it.
So I did not. I am not the one who told you this, and whoever told you that is wrong.
No, I disagree, because they never had that battle.
I can definitively tell you they were never going to have that battle, because when the show was originally planned, the show was an anthology series, and it was supposed to completely change casts and powers and stories every season.
That's fine. That's cool. But the problem is that it didn't become that, and you gave us that. Like if the next season was something entirely different, cool, fine, whatever.
We could have been done with it. Yes.
We could have been done with that and moved on to something else. But they chose to stick with those characters, and now you prepped this, and even though that wasn't your, and he didn't pay it out. Like, dude, drop the frickin' ball.
Yeah. No, he got really screwed by the producers, because watching it now, that show would have been so good had it been an anthology series. And I feel
it should have been like a comic book.
Anthology series like that back then just weren't as big, and now something like American Horror Story proves how well that can work. And actually, that is what Infinity Train does. Infinity Train, each season, focuses on a new passenger.
Okay.
So that's kind of where it works, and why each season can live sort of as its own thing. But I will say this final season is pretty weak. I'm really hoping the final episode can really just do some razzle-dazzle and pull me back in. But honestly, if I'm being legit, seasons 1 and 2 are really the only ones to truly care about. And even then, it's probably just season 1. I really like this show, but it had legs and it didn't use them right.
Do you think that, like, if this last season doesn't pick back up, it'll leave a bad taste in your mouth?
I'll still really like the first season.
Okay, fair enough.
Because it's anthology, this can't taint the first season. What the first season came and did is done.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so a little disappointing there. And then also Younger, which is a show
tell me about that one.
You would not like at all. In fact, I would go out on a limb and say most of our audience would not like this show. This is one of those weird corners that, like, I just fuck with. It's like me and Degrassi. Sure. None of my friends understand why I like Degrassi. I don't understand why I like Degrassi. I just love that shit. It's fascinating. Okay. Younger is the same thing. I can tell you why I started watching Younger. I cannot tell you why I continue to watch Younger.
Okay, why did you start watching it?
For Hilary Duff. I've had a crush on her since, like, middle school. Me and her 1 year apart. She's months older than me, so it was never like anybody's like creepy watching Lizzie McGuire.
No.
Like, no,
it was age appropriate. I was
a middle school kid. She was a middle school kid on a TV show.
Yeah.
So just had the crush on Hilary Duff forever. Heard she was in a show, and I was like, I'll watch a Hilary Duff show. There's at least one thing to watch. Fucking creepy loser shit, whatever. And the show is really just about not Hilary Duff, but Hilary Duff's becomes her best friend. It's about a lady who's in her like late 30s, early 40s who pretends to be in her 20s to secure a better job, because in her line of work, older women just aren't hired for these roles.
Okay.
So
what's the job?
She is a book editor for a hip young book company.
Oh, okay.
So yeah. So it's all about that. But it's in its final season. The show's like, I don't know. It's like woke people, woke upper middle class people doing woke upper middle class things. Like, she dates a young tattoo guy, and in real life, even the actor uses they them pronouns, and
Okay.
like it's just a very woke cast on a modern take on Friends, sort of, I guess. All about this
Okay.
girl lying about her age. The
Fair
show's fun.
enough.
I enjoy it. It's in its last season. I'm
Is it a
kind of
comedy?
dramedy kind of thing. Yeah.
Okay. I'm
Like,
curious to know why you think I wouldn't like it. Like, it sounds like, okay, this is an interesting premise.
I don't know. It's nothing you've ever. It's not like anything you've ever discussed with me as enjoying.
Fair enough. Okay, okay,
Like,
okay.
it's not quite comedy sitcom like a Malcolm in the Middle.
Sure.
It's not even quite as comedy as Friends.
Okay. It's just a dramedy show. Like, it might as well be Felicity or something.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair. And that's like, look, there's nothing wrong with shows like that. You know,
It just
whatever.
doesn't
But
make sense why I would talk about it
right,
on this
no,
show.
it doesn't. It doesn't at all. Like, it doesn't make sense that that would be something you would jump in on.
Yeah, no, it's just one of those things. Like, I watched it for a dumbass reason and ended up getting into it. It's kind of fun. I enjoy it. Yeah, and it's doing its final season, which I'm glad about, because actually the show has felt like it's been trying to end. Like,
Yeah.
for the past season and a half, most of the cast is aware that she's lying now.
Okay, so like the whole premise is moot.
Pretty much done. And like, not
Yeah.
only that, like, nobody's really even mad at her for it anymore. We've all even moved past it and are just continuing now. So I don't.
There's a couple shows like that where I just realized, like, okay, so we're all in on it now, so why are we still doing this?
Right. Yeah.
And I can't, none of them are popping into my head, but I know I've had that thought about shows before. Like, okay, well, like, the cat's out of the bag. Like, are we
why
done?
are we still here? Yeah.
Right.
And so it feels like they are finally trying to land this ship and get out of it. Weirdly tangential, but on point. I'm gonna pull up a graphic. People will, as usual, know about
Tangential?
it slightly before you do. But with this show ending, and Hilary Duff has announced her next show that she's doing.
Oh, I've heard of this.
And it's a continuation of a show with a famously terrible. That is a tiny, tiny image of the logo. How's this one? Is that better? Yeah, the show has a famously terrible ending. How I Met Your Mother.
Right. Yes. You and I were just talking about this. So she's playing the daughter.
We are assuming. So, it's not even started filming yet. They're still reworking the scripts on everything, but she's confirmed. She actually, I think it was just today, she was on some podcast and she confirmed, like, yes, her character has a direct tie to the original show, to the point where they're hoping that they can get the original actors to cameo a bunch.
Nice.
So the running theory is that she is playing Barney's daughter.
Gotcha. Right.
That's what everybody is assuming, but we don't actually know that for a fact. That's just our best running theory.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, you finished How I Met Your Mother, right?
I did, and I enjoyed. Like, that last episode was bittersweet. Well, yeah, no, but I mean specifically the last one was bittersweet, because the second to the last one, we find out who this person is, then whatever, you know what I'm talking about. The last couple leading up to the actual finale, we find out at least who the person is, and then you just kind of spend the rest of the time waiting to see how they actually connect and how they get to where they are now. And spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, like, that part all works out fine, but it's like what happens after they meet, like it's the wrap up, the lead up to current day, which is again, spoiler,
insulting.
She dies.
Yeah.
End of spoiler. And it's like, how could you do that? How could you spend an entire series making us wonder and care about this person we've never met, and then do that to them?
That was
and then all just today say, oh, but he was really supposed to be with this other gal the whole time.
That was the part that was insulting, where even the kids are like, you're obviously telling this other story, Dad. And it's like, yeah, we knew.
Right. Like, we knew from the first episode when they introduced that character how this should have ended, and you just spent an entire fucking rest of the series dicking around with us.
When I told a buddy of mine at work that I was rewatching Game of Thrones, and he was like, "Oh, haha, watch up to the last season and then don't do it." And I was like, I'm gonna do it because every time I rewatch How I Met Your Mother, I always tell myself I'm going to stop when he meets her at the train station, and
you never do it.
That's the ending. And then now I watch the real ending every time. Every time.
I will say, man, that I've only watched it through once, and that last episode, I was in fucking tears.
Fucking takes it out of you.
Oh my god. That, and we've talked about this one before too, but that and The Good Place, the last episode of The Good Place. That one hit
you hard.
That one hit me so hard, man. Literal. I'm not exaggerating. I had an existential crisis for 2 weeks. I was not okay after finishing The Good Place.
Motherfucker's got a call into work like, I can't come in today. Like, this show ended and it's just hitting me really hard.
No, like I was seriously concerned about like my afterlife and like how I would feel, like my own freaking potential immortality. Like I was struggling with it. I was not okay, man. It was brutal, but it's an amazing show, and it was an amazing, like there was no other way that show could have ended. It was just sad. Yeah. It was happy, but it was sad. It was, yeah, man. Like it was really tough to get through it.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it was great, and I want to rewatch it again because I'm a freaking glutton for punishment. Apparently,
before you do that, there's a drum I have beaten on this show over and over again.
Oh,
I have to insist if we're talking about endings.
Steven Universe.
You finished Steven Universe.
No, but I didn't finish Steven Universe. Future.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Future was a bit.
I do need to. I need to.
Future's a little bit of a letdown.
I don't care. I need to finish it because the first series was amazing, and the movie was amazing.
God, the movie was so good.
I need to finish Future.
I can't wait to meet his other friend. God, that song is so good. It's so show tunesy and it's still so good. No, a drum I've beaten on this show before. I'm a little upset you're rewatching Supernatural, man.
I'm sorry, man.
Because two of the greatest
I'm anxiety riddled.
Two of the greatest series finales of all time.
Yes.
I still will die on this cross. The best series finale.
Regular show and
all time is regular show.
And what was the other one? Adventure Time?
Adventure Time.
Yeah.
But regular show. It's
I know.
Best series finale.
I know.
Ever.
I know. We've beaten that horse to death, but yes, I will watch it.
I need you to see it, man.
I know, man.
I actually just got reminded. I was sending it around, but I saw an Adventure Time clip today that was like, fuck, I need to rewatch like all of Adventure Time again. I gotta throw this out there because like anybody who's watching this, they're like, I cannot be the only one that does this. Like, I really am so anxiety riddled that as much as I want to watch new shows and new movies and like experience all these things that are out right now, I really do have a hard time jumping into something new because like I'm afraid isn't the right word, but just anxious about like, what am I getting into? Am I going to enjoy it? Am I going to be wasting my time on this show? Is it going to affect me or is it not? Like, but I've already seen these ones and I know I'm comfortable with them. So I'm a consumption demon to the point where
sure.
I have certain shows that I watch while doing certain things because I consider them more or less stakes. So, like, I usually keep something running in the background while I work, especially now during COVID, and I work from home. So that's where I'm rewatching Game of Thrones, but all the other stuff I'm watching with my, like, new stuff or...
Like,
all that I watch with my wife in my living room. And while, morning and night, brushing my teeth, getting ready in the morning, getting ready at night, I watch Dragon Ball Super on my phone.
Right. And that's just kind of playing out background noise and whatnot.
Bathroom Time show, fucking, like, I've watched most of, like, the Adult Swim catalog through, like, that as, like, Bathroom Time shows. A lot of anime
just sitting
gets
on
done
the pooper.
There. Okay, I don't want. No, I read comics when I'm on the poop, or I'm talking brushing and flossing my teeth,
okay.
and trimming up my beard and shaving, and
doing that whole routine,
yeah,
the
like
whole routine, not
my
just the pooping
whole
part.
morning routine is where no pooping doesn't happen until after breakfast.
I don't know when you poop. I don't care when you poop.
I'm gonna send you a
I
schedule.
care what you do while you're pooping.
Thanks, buddy. No, but, give it a try, man. If you need like a low stakes show to sort of slowly get into, Regular Show and Adventure Time are great for bathroom shows.
I watched the
Short
first
episodes, low stakes, low investment, and you're getting through it just one episode at a time. You're missing parts because you're brushing your teeth or fucking plucking something out of your nose, whatever. I don't know what you do. Bathroom show. I'm telling you, get your phone out.
Can I say that because I do pluck the hairs out my nose and whatnot, I came across my first white one.
White nose hair?
Yeah, man, it scared the shit out of me.
Did you name it?
I was like,
Ishmael?
no, I did not name it Ishmael. No, I named it Freddie Follicle.
Fair.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
fair.
No, that happened, and I got the gray growing up underneath the white. No, they're not even gray; they're fucking white.
Yeah,
growing up underneath here.
Yeah,
but I got a magnificent beard, so that makes up for it. Yeah, everybody loves my beard.
It's too warm.
I don't mind, man. I'm digging it. I'm rocking it. Everybody loves it. This is great. This is gonna be a permanent fucking facial feature from now on.
Fair enough.
I went to stand up last night, and the dude was making a comment about like the audience. Like this seems like a pretty woke and hip crowd. I mean, just look at all these people. They're all like, none of them are unfashionable. And he looks at me and goes, "Look at this guy. Did you straighten your beard?" And I was like, "Yeah."
You straighten it?
I do straighten it, yeah. Well, because if I don't, it's like it's curly and goes.
That's what I liked the poof.
It's a freaking tangled mess, man. I like it straight. I like it straighter. It looks good this way. Rocking the ZZ Top look.
Yeah, no,
or the ZZ Bottom, whatever.
Try him out as a bathroom show.
Yeah.
I think you will dig both the practice and the show itself.
All right. I'll give that a shot.
Demon.
You are a consumption demon, and that's cool. Like I wish that I could do. I mean, I can. There's nothing stopping me from doing it besides existential dread. No, it's totally healthy. I mean, yeah, you probably could be consuming more useful things, but like you're keeping up. You were watching new things. You have you have a fresh perspective on what's happening in the world. Me, I'm living in fucking I'm living in 2008 watching Supernatural. Like that's where I am.
Also, the
I'm
town
12
you're
years
in
old.
is probably stuck in like 2000.
We are.
We're
pretty trapped up here. Yeah. Which is okay. Like it's a great little town. No. Seriously, like I like the town.
I distinctly hated living in that.
There
town.
could be more to it, but for the most part, it's a funky little town, man.
By funky little town, do you mean meth trap?
Well, but every town's gonna have something like that. And yeah, there's some meth up here. There's a lot of meth up here. No, there's fucking meth up here. But I mean, like, I don't hang out with all the methies. Most the friends that I do hang out with, like I'm not in that. I don't see that every day. Yes, I know that it exists. And like it sucks, and hope that can be rectified. But like it's not part of my daily world.
Yeah, I couldn't fucking get away from it in that town. I hate that town. God.
Oh.
The sooner it's turned into a giant parking lot, the better. Just wipe the whole thing out. Use it for something useful.
I dig it. There's a lot of good. There's
endings.
Art up here. And
give me like what's your top? What's your favorite ending?
I told you, the Good Place is probably my favorite ending.
That's the one?
That might be the one. Yeah, man. It was just wrapped up so nicely. And it wasn't I can't say that it was wrapped up pretty, because it wasn't pretty. It was raw and harsh and just fucking real. Like, how do we deal with life and existence forever?
Good Place logo.
Yeah, do it. But it just made sense, and it was meaningful, and it was impactful, and it was touching and lovely, and all these characters that we grew, and they like had a payoff.
You expand. I'm gonna do one of these. You expand.
Okay, I'll keep talking. But yeah, man, it was just I feel so weird. I feel so weird talking to people that I'm not even sure are there. I'm talking like Devin's not even there anymore, and I'm still talking, mostly to myself. I hope at some point in time somebody is listening to me. I can't guarantee that. Um, and maybe one day this will mean something to somebody, but at the moment, I'm talking to nobody. I assume. I don't know who's watching. I don't have access to the comments or current view feed number, but I feel like I'm talking to no one. I hope you care when I say that the Good Place finale was meaningful to me, and I hope it meant something to you. I hope it meant something. And if you haven't seen it yet, you should probably go and check it out. I was just telling everybody how uncomfortable I feel talking to nobody.
You're not talking to nobody. You're talking to them.
Oh, okay. Well, but I don't like. Is anybody watching right now?
It doesn't.
Like,
matter.
I don't know. I don't have
exactly.
Well, that's what I said.
That's exactly how you do. The one skill I think I really picked up while Twitch streaming was learning how to talk as if everyone was listening.
See, no, like even in my daily life, I talk to people like, who the fuck cares what I have to say? Like that's just kind of my MO. Like when I'm talking to people I know are right in front of me.
That's with my job, I'm an egomaniac. And a control.
That has nothing to do with your job.
So
that's just you.
When I speak, you will listen to what I have to say.
Yeah, no,
you don't have a choice. I'm the manager now.
Oh God, they put you in charge.
No, but really, they have to do everything I fucking tell them to do,
or else they get in trouble.
Actually, we're so fucking neutered. We're not going to get into that.
Stupid. No, what? Now what? What?
Nobody ever wants. I love two things. I love a good old-fashioned scream test, and I love punishing people for being stupid. And there's no company in the world who lets you do either of those things. So a scream test is my favorite kind of test in the world. This happens more than you think at every company ever. So where somebody finds something, an email list, a software, a something, and they go, hey, does anybody use this? And they get crickets, and no one says anything. That's when you run the old scream test. You shut it off.
Oh. And then see who starts complaining.
And see who starts screaming.
Yeah.
I constantly say, people are always like, oh, what's this thing? And how do we figure that out? And I'm like, turn it off. No, we couldn't do that. We couldn't do that. You can. You turn it off. And then somebody goes, and you go, hey, fuckface. Remember when we were asking about this?
Yeah.
Scream test. And then I really believe in punitive measures. You do something stupid like install a virus on your computer or completely bork it because you don't know what you're doing or fall for a really bad phishing scam or something. Yeah, you should lose access to stuff. If you can't follow rules, you don't get to have nice things. I will take your laptop and issue you some crayons and a coloring book if that's what you prove that you can handle. No one will ever let you shut off access. Right now, my company's going through this thing where they're like, how do we stop managers from just buying software instead of talking to us and doing a proper rollout? And I was like, next time they buy software and don't follow the rules, turn off their credit card. Oh, yeah. We couldn't do that. No, you can. You call them and you go, hey, I control these credit cards.
Turn them off.
That one off.
Yeah.
IT will swoop in, save the day, and move all their shit onto our card once they approve it with us. Blam.
I want to hear. So this has nothing to do with movies, but since we're on this topic, you have told me some of the best IT disaster stories. Please tell the one about when you were showing the new guy how to operate the help ticket system, and you used the example, my computer's on fire.
I don't remember this.
Oh, you don't? Oh, should I tell it then?
You should tell. Regale me tales of myself.
So you were telling me this story about, so you got this new IT kid. I don't even know if he was a kid, whatever. I'm not ageist, I promise. But you got this new IT personnel and you're showing them, okay, this is how you use the help ticket. So like they open up the software and they type in my computer's on fire, or whatever. And then the kid types in, "My computer's on fire." And then what you do is you go and
I do remember this.
you click on this, and that's how it submits the ticket. And then about half an hour later, you start getting phone calls from like the CEO because it was flagged as a top tier issue. And he calls you up going, "What's going on? Whose computer's on fire?"
Man, I forgot. I honestly don't even know what company that was from anymore. But yeah,
I think I remember
that
which
story.
One. And that same kid, if I remember correctly, went to go and cook his
different kid.
Different guy.
That kid was in engineering.
Okay, yeah, but that kid did something else.
There was a point where we had.
Well, what did he? What? Tell that. What did he cook?
We had engineering interns, and at one point the IT team gets a ticket saying,
"Oh God,
we smell smoke in the engineering room." And I'm like, are you really telling me that if there's a fire, your first idea is to submit an IT ticket? That's not the correct path for that.
Right.
But I mean, being the other IT guy, we're like, I guess
we go look.
Firefighters, so we're going around and we're like, yeah, it smells like an electrical fire, but we're like looking under desks, we're looking in server closets, we're popping up ceiling panels, and we're like, I don't, like, nothing is on fire, like the sprinklers haven't triggered, we got nothing. And after a solid 45 minutes of us like tearing this building apart, trying to figure out a fire, one of the interns comes up and he goes, "Hey, so I think this was me. I tried to microwave one of those like oatmeal cereal bars, but I didn't take it out of the wrapper."
And the wrappers are aluminum.
The wrappers are foil.
Yeah.
And he scorched the fuck out of the microwave.
Oh my God. Didn't somebody pour tea into their laptop at one point in time?
Fucking jackass tries to... This is like my first week there, and I come in and Eduardo, the host of the 5D podcast, Mondays at 7.
There it is!
He's ranting and he's pissed,
Drink.
And I'm like, what is... I finished my drink. I'm like, what is going on? And he's like, this motherfucker tries to tell me that his laptop fried, and he thinks it might have gotten a little bit of tea from the bottom of a cup in his bag. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, liquid. We'll fucking do that. And he goes, fuck that. And he pulls the back plate of this thing off. And I mean, dude, the entire back plate is sticky inside and out with tea. This wasn't a little bit of tea from like an old cup in the holder of his bag that leaked through. Homeboy had to have dumped an entire pot of tea into this fucking laptop. It was so sticky and covered with shit.
That's so gnar, man.
Oh, I've seen... Dude, my wife was actually just commenting today, looking at... I don't know if you can actually see it, but back there, that is a big stack of laptops because COVID.
Yes.
I'm now an inventory warehouse in my home. And my wife is just in here talking to something, and she looks over at those laptops, and she goes, "Those are disgusting." And
what's wrong with them? I can't see details.
I was like, yeah, people are really gross. And she's like, I've never given my laptop to IT without wiping it down first. And I was like, yeah.
Oh, seriously?
Because you're a human being, but I get shit in like this.
Oh, God.
All the fucking time. This was just a loaner that I sent to somebody, but the people who are watching can see it. Yeah, no, it's filthy. It's covered in like dead skin and stains of unknown origin.
Gross.
There's fingerprints all over the screen, and I'm like, you clearly after you touched it the first 3 times, it wasn't a touch screen. I don't know why there's still thumbprints in the middle of the fucking screen. But there are all the time. It's IT is like, everybody just tells IT, you're a cost center, so you've got to cut prices, and you guys need to buckle down. And it's like, we're not spending money on us. Yeah. You're making the request.
Right.
You're asking for this shit. It's a fucking thankless pile of shit job.
Sorry, man. We I don't remember if we touched on it before we started or mid run, but you rewatched Ghostbusters.
Yes.
Yeah. What'd you think?
So look,
you didn't like it for the longest time.
It's on this short list of movies that you would watch all the fucking time.
Guilty.
And it's like those, it's like Indiana Jones, Back to the Future, There's just these few franchises where I'm like, I'm done.
Sorry.
I'm done. I fucking
Apparently
seen it.
I've been had anxiety longer than I thought.
It just could. So I'm actually rewatching those as well, the Indiana Jones ones.
Nice.
So we rewatched Ghostbusters 1. I haven't redone Ghostbusters 2. Look, okay. I liked the movie. It was a lot of fun. Is it this timeless classic that everyone has to see?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
You should let me know when you rewatch the sequel.
I do remember liking the sequel more than I liked the original.
They're very different movies.
And again, I'm not saying Ghostbusters is bad. I just think a modern generation watching that movie is going to go, cool.
Fair enough.
I don't think it's anything that's going to blow anybody's fucking... Like, unless you get them young. If you can get, like, a 7-year-old who's, like, at that point where he's like, there were fucking lights and my parents laughed, so I thought it was funny. You know, Slimer made a face. Ah! I think a really little kid could, but, like, show it to a 13-year-old... They're not gonna give a shit about that movie.
It's look, it's got stuff that kids like. It's got the fun, goofy monsters and characters. It's got the crazy lights. It's got the flamboyant characters. But the plot itself, like it's a bunch of like entrepreneurs dealing with the EPA while fighting like that's the backstory, the through line of this plot.
Yeah,
and like. That stuff is lost on kids. Like, I didn't get what all that stuff. Like, who's this dickless guy? Like,
he called him dickless.
That's what's funny about it. But like, I don't know why he's there or why he hates them. Why does anybody hate these guys? They fight ghosts. This is fun. But yeah, you don't get that stuff until you grow up. That's fair. Like. It's probably one of those movies that it's better if you catch it young. Star Wars is the same way. As are a lot of things, like stuff that we love right now. Like we talk about, like that's what this show is about.
Right.
Going back and rewatching old movies and like, does it still hold up? And a lot of them don't, but we still like them because, well, they're just fucking kind of fun.
I will say the one I'm more impressed by is Indiana Jones. Going back and rewatching it.
Yeah.
Look, what is it? The Last Crusade is the first one?
No, that's
Raiders.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. Slow.
Very.
Very slow.
And I'll agree with the Big Bang Theory synopsis of that movie.
Indiana Jones might as well not be in the movie.
He does nothing.
He does absolutely nothing.
He's completely ineffective.
Yes. He like does stuff and he fights the Nazis and whatever.
The character is super fun. It's well performed. It's shot very well. The movie is beautiful.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, the main character serves very little purpose in outcome.
If he had, and this is not this isn't our idea. Big Bang Theory said it, and I'm sure a million people have said it before. But the premise is that had Indiana Jones not been involved, the Nazis still would have found the Ark eventually. They still would have opened it up and they would have killed themselves.
Yep.
Like they do. Sorry, spoiler alert. It's an older movie. So like he was just kind of along for the ride.
Right.
Yeah. But it was a fun ride.
It really didn't matter. And then, but the part that killed me the most, so me and my wife just rewatched Temple of Doom, and we walked out going, wow, this was so much better than the first one. I really enjoyed this movie.
And people bag on it.
And I looked up online, and people fucking loathe. The chick is terrible, and the kid is annoying, and who wrote this? The plot is bad. And I'm like, give me one example of anything you've said, and I'll give you some credit. The kid is... I don't like kids. I really don't like anything that feels like an escort mission, so to speak. Most of the time, kids in movies are a burden to overcome.
Yeah. Short Round holds his own. Totally.
Short Round is actually like good at stuff. He honestly feels like oh my god, why can't I remember Clementine from the Walking Dead games from Telltale.
Oh, yeah.
Clem is a goddamn gem. Clem is an enjoyable child in a game that is largely escort mission the game.
Yeah.
and Clem is fantastic. Short Round, I would say, is up there with Clem. This light is directly
Willie,
in my eye, as you can see, so
I
I'm going
can
to
see
shut this curtain
that.
really quick.
Do it. Willie was more of the escort mission than Short Round was.
Right.
Like,
as
look,
much shit as she got online, everybody was like, fuck this chick, fuck this chick. Yeah, she's a foil.
Yeah,
That's
like that was the point of her character.
Point.
Yeah. And like, look, I get it. Like Willie, the character, was kind of annoying, but like she was kind of supposed to be. Like, look, this wasn't this wasn't Indy's A team.
No.
This was like he was doing a job, got stuck on a plane that crashed, and these two people happened to be with him. Like Short Round was just his driver.
Yeah.
Short Round was there to be his driver, and she was in trouble. She had the antidote. He brought her along, and that's just kind of how it happened to work out. So now he's stuck in India with these two people, and they just got to get back home. Like they're not supposed to be amazing, fun, exciting characters that save the day. Like they were who was with them at the time, and now they got to live.
Complaining that she's annoying. Yeah. And Joey and Phoebe were stupid, and Conan is strong, and RoboCop has metal part. Like, yeah, yup, she was annoying.
Yeah.
So, in other words, she did a great job doing the thing that she was
told
to do.
Absolutely, the actress, not the character. She did her job.
Yes.
Well, yeah, totally.
And as far as the plot being dumb. Okay, so the first one was great, considering that the whole movie, the main character, is ineffective.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones is this great hero who, in his first outing, did nothing. That's like if we watched all of Star Wars 1 and Biggs blew up the Death Star.
Yeah?
Or is it 4, not 1? You know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean.
Watching the original one, and like, yeah, no, somebody else took it out.
Or no, like somebody on the Death Star blows it up.
Yeah,
like they hit the wrong button.
They go to fire it the first time, the thing just malfunctions and kills them all.
Exactly.
The end.
Right. Yeah.
No, the first one is not what I would call well written.
The third one,
at least, the second one has flow, and I will say the third act is all action. The entire third act of Temple of Doom is great. Like, and that was even one of the ones we were kind of putting on, but like, you know, we were playing a game on the Switch or like half reading and watching. We both put our shit down about the time that he Kalima Shakti Day. From there on, I'm locked the fuck in, and like,
oh hell yeah!
Thinking back on the movie, you're like, okay, so what? Like 15 minutes? No, that's like a solid 30 to 45 minutes of a 2-ish hour movie.
Yeah.
Is all just shit going down at the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
It's good. The movie is good. It's the best at least of the two I've watched so far, it's the best one. And
As a kid,
I don't remember the third one being mind-blowing.
Okay. As a kid, Temple of Doom was my favorite. Probably largely due to the fact that there was a kid in it.
You had the relatable insert.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. But it was still a lot of fun. It was my favorite. Whatever. As an adult, Last Crusade is probably my favorite.
Really?
Last Crusade is, dude, it is worth it. It's
what are you gonna do when I become a big Crystal Skull fan?
Hey, you know, if you enjoy it, great. Like I wasn't like, it was fun. I rewatched it recently.
Never seen it.
It was fun. It's okay.
You gonna do number 5, right?
I heard, and I'm here for it.
Mads Mikkelsen.
It is Crystal Skull is to Last Crusade what everybody feels Temple of Doom was to Lost Ark.
Okay.
Like you know what I mean? Like it's just like you had this great idea and then you give us this kind of a thing.
For a second I thought you were gonna say a thing and I was gonna hate you forever. I thought you were gonna say is what episode 9 is to
no.
Trilogy.
I think look, there are two main issues that I had with Crystal Skull. And they're not even that big, but like they just painted it in such a way that it cheapened it for me. And these are those two things. They tried to do this not Technicolor, but they like colored it in such a way that it was like more vibrant and but still sepia toned, and it was like they gave it this very weird texture, like trying to digitally recreate the texture from the original trilogy, that it just didn't work. It seemed fake, it seemed cartoony, it seemed cheapened. And like that wasn't huge on the story, but it felt dirty.
Visually, even if you don't consciously recognize it, it makes a difference.
It felt dirty, and I had a problem with it. And maybe they had an idea, like a reason for it, but it felt dirty. And my second issue was this: everything in the first 3 movies was mystical. You know the premise. I'm not going to spoil it if I tell you. Okay. Like, so the first one is the Ark of the Covenant. The second one is these mystical, Hindu stones, and the third one is the Holy Grail. And then the fourth one, they decide, let's do sci-fi, let's make it aliens.
Yeah, I know
and it just didn't.
Pissed about that.
It look, like the crystal skulls is an actual myth. It's an actual thing. Yep. It's here. So cool. Why not tackle that? But like, let's make a big. I don't want to spoil it. It didn't quite add up. And they tried something new, and that's cool, but it was a fun watch. I enjoyed it. Shia LaBeouf did fine. Like, I didn't have a problem with him at all.
The guy's
people bag
on him, but as an actor, he's great.
My problem was like Shia was bagging on the movie, and like, look, I get it, but and Harrison Ford pointed this out to him, like, dude, I don't care how you feel about the movie, but you're a representative of this movie. Just because we finished filming doesn't mean you're not a representative of this movie. Stop bagging the movie during the press run.
Right.
Shut up. This is not your place. This is not the time.
So
just because you didn't like it doesn't mean the rest of us didn't, and we're still trying to make this movie likable. So shut up.
So similar, weirdly similar. We're almost out of time, so I want to jam through this.
Yeah.
Are you aware of Uncharted as a series?
No. I mean, I know it exists.
So Uncharted is a video game series that is often likened to Indiana Jones. It's about this kid who comes up as a street thief, but is raised by an archaeologist, art collector, street thief. But they go off and they kind of go on these big adventures looking for artifacts of history, kind of like National Treasure, but a little more like Indiana Jones. Almost every one's with finding some sort of, like, at one point they find this lost culture of creatures, all they're like monsters, but they're this tribe, and it weirdly ties in really. It's the same kind of thing where
Uncharted.
The very, very end, mystic ship happens, and you go, oh fuck! But then of course something always happens to rebury it and make it lost to the world forever, and he's only got the one artifact to come out of it.
Right.
That's how it goes. So they're making an Uncharted movie.
Okay.
That is a prequel to the games, which is the right way to go. God damn it! That way you don't have to ruin anything. And it's starring Brad Pitt as the mentor character, and Tom Holland of Spider-Man fame.
He is so fucking awesome.
As Nathan Drake, but a young Nathan Drake. Well, what's happening right now is he's actually already come out and said, oh man, I actually think this is my worst performance. I was so busy focusing on stunts and trying to look cool that I don't think I delivered a real performance.
Oh, that's a drag.
In what my character is. And the movie's not even out yet. The movie does not exist yet, and he's already kind of pulling a shot going this isn't my best work, guys. And it's shut up!
Yeah, dude.
Just save it!
That's you learn that in high school when you're giving a presentation, don't apologize to the class.
Yeah, they'll turn on you real quick.
Yeah, just
but with
let
that
it happen.
Said, I am a big fan of the Uncharted games, and I'm very, very interested in checking out the Uncharted movie when it comes out. I think the cast is right. I think it's going to do a really... I think it'll do good things.
Okay.
I'm actually excited for this.
Where can I play the game?
PS3, PS4.
Okay.
So if you want to come over, I have all of them.
Might have to do that. I'm making a trip up to you just to play some video games.
Is it weird that I'm honestly surprised that when people come over, they don't just ignore me and read comics and play video games just because I have libraries of both of these things available to people?
I know, right?
Either way, go ahead and play us out, Killer.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us. This has been Bias Bros. My name is Jay. You can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Jay Barker's Voice. You can find me online, www.jbarkersvoice.com. And can I tease something a little bit here?
Yeah. As long as you're allowed to do that.
I'm not going to go into details.
Okay.
But all I will say is, we spend a lot of time talking about movies that other people have done. But very soon, we will be talking about a movie that I will be part of. Yes. And I'm really looking forward to it. That is all I will say right now. But I am so excited about this upcoming project. It's going to be a blast.
You should.
Oh, yeah.
All right, and I'm the other one. This is my network. You can find me 5dpodcast.com, in5dproductions.com, youtube.tv/5dpodcast, twitch.tv/metagame network, 5D podcast Mondays at 7. The Smorgasbord game night is Tuesdays at 7. And then there is, of course, this show, which if you have to ask how you find it, you need to seek medical attention. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have a good night. Bye.
Bye.